Hey friends, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and for me it is a sourcing day, so I get to go to my favorite place, Goodwill, and I get to go find treasures to sell on both eBay and Poshmark, and as always I'm going to take you guys with me. I'll see you in there. Let's go. So I want to say sorry, I am recording this down in my basement. It's definitely not pretty, but my kids are home for winter break and so it's really hectic upstairs, and if you're a mom, you know that you're the most popular person in the house. Well, I'm gonna finish this really quick. Hey, can I finish this really quick?
Okay, I'll come.
Oh, you're gonna hang out. Hey, let's be nice. Sure. And so I couldn't record in my dining room or my living room or else I would have company with me. So here we are. So as always, I went straight to the shoes where I found this pair of Echo boots, and like I said before, I really like to pick up this brand especially in men's shoes or in boots for women or men, and these were actually really nice. They were suede leather and they also have like this shearling on the top, and inside it's wool lined, which is a really good factor during winter time, and these should resell for about $55 to $60. So I've never heard of this brand before. It's called Glare Ups, but I looked it up just because I could tell that it was 100% wool and they were just really high quality. And when I looked them up pre-owned, they were selling between $50 to $60, even sometimes $70. And so I was really excited about this find. And anytime that I find something that's high quality leather or 100% wool, I always look it up, and for the most part, it pays off. And even better, these slippers had over 100% sell-through rate, and that just means that there's more sold listings than there are active listings. So right now there's 225 active listings and 422 sold listings. So that just shows me that these should sell really quick and that this is a brand that is very desired and performing really well. Another great pair of shoes were these Torrid chunky loafers, and I've talked about this style before, but right now this style is really popular, and I actually sold a pair of Sam Edelman's, I think for like $95 within a couple weeks, that looked very similar to this. And these are from the brand Torrid, which they're known for like their plus size clothing, and these are actually double wides, and so I'm expecting these to sell for around $50. And even though these aren't vintage, I will put 90s in my description and my keywords just because these are a very classic 90s shoe style, and like I said, these are really popular right now. So when it comes to picking up J. Crew in shoes, I am very selective, but this was a very on-trend style. These are some suede leather mules, and they also have some studding detailing on the side and a woodblock heel, which are all really great factors, especially for reselling. And I've also noticed that whenever the J. Crew item is from Italy, especially in their shoes, they do really well, and so these should actually resell for about $70. I ended up snagging these Hokas for my husband. They were his size and they look like they were brand new, but if I was going to resell them, this particular style was going for about $90 pre-owned. So this is a brand that I am selective with now, and it's Sam Edelman. It used to perform really well in their shoes, and they are still really expensive brand new, but I have kind of become more selective when I pick out their items just because they don't perform as well on the reseller market. But these are a pair of suede leather booties and just a very classic style for this time of year, and they should resell for about $45 to $50. I really thought these boots were beautiful, and they were from the brand Naturalizer, and they were half off, so I love that. I'm definitely a sucker for half off items, and I love the fact that the leathering is a mixed media, and it also has like the studding detailing, and they're just a really classic riding boot, and they almost kind of remind me of like Western or like boho look to them, and I think these should resell for about $45, maybe $50. So little random side note, if you watched my video last week, you saw that PrimeLister had sponsored that video for their Poshmark automation tool, and they are not sponsoring today's video, but I did want to say that I used to use Posher VA, and the reason that I switched over to PrimeLister's tool was because you do not have to have any device open in order for it to run. I know that whenever I used the Posher VA thing, I had to have my laptop open every time I went and ran errands or went to Goodwill, but for this one, you do not have to have it open. You can literally just set when you want it to share your closet and all the functions that you want it to do for you, and you can close your computer, you can close your tablet, and it still runs, which is amazing. So the fact that it does that, and then you can also access it through your phone, is what really won me over. And if you guys are interested, like I said before, I do have a 30% off your first month down in my description below. So from shoes, I moved over to jackets, where I found this Storm Creek puffer vest, and I've never heard of this brand before, but my motto is if I ever find like a nice packable jacket that's goose down, I always look it up, and these were performing really well. They were reselling for about $45 to $50 pre-owned. So I've talked about this brand before, and it is Boston Proper, and this brand resells really well. It kind of reminds me of like a classic but then also sexy kind of style, and this one is just a really nice classic knit blazer. It has the one button front. My favorite blazers to sell are knit blazers and tweed knit because those just perform really well. And this one's really nice because it's a 4-way stretch and it's part of the Beyond Travel collection, which is a very sought after collection from Boston Proper. It's just really comfortable but then also professional. And I've actually sold this exact blazer before, so this will be really easy to list, and I'm hoping to get $40 for it. And then I ended up getting lucky and I found 3 blazers from Boston Proper, and they're all the same. So I found a yellow one, a red one, and a blue one. These will be so easy to list, and again, I'm hoping to get $40 for each. When I first saw this, I was really excited just because I know this brand is really expensive, brand new. So I put it in my cart, and then I checked comps, and then eventually I put it back out just because comps had them reselling for about $35, some were $45, but the sell-through rate was really low. And so I was sad about this because I do really like to pick up tweed knit blazers. They do really well. It just wasn't worth it to me paying $13 for something that I was probably gonna sit on, and it was also a very small size. I think it was an extra small. And something that I always need to remind myself is that just because something's expensive, brand new, does not mean that it resells for a lot of money or resells well. But I did snag this vintage piece from J. Jill, and this is like a vintage 90s. I could see like Lizzie McGuire wearing this, and it's this pink, almost like a red denim jacket, and this should resell for about $35. I love this jacket from Tahari. This is so beautiful. I love the golden button detailing, the bright bold red, and it kind of reminds me of like a military style blazer. And their blazers were performing really well, and they were selling for around $45. So I've made mention multiple times how Athleta isn't performing well, and then I keep buying Athleta pieces, and I was really excited when I found this one. This one is the Eastbound blazer, and it was also a really great size. It was a plus size, and it was in a size 22, and this is a very classic, just very comfortable knit, like athleisure style blazer, and they were actually performing really well, and I'm hoping to get around $70 for this jacket. This is another brand that I am selected with, and it's J. Crew, and I do still like to pick up their jackets or their blazers, and this one was a tweed knit with like fringe detailing on the side. It was also a moto style zip up, and those factors are really good, and so I did grab this one, and I'm hoping to resell this one for $45. Honestly, anytime that I find a tweed knit jacket, I do look it up, and if it's a good brand, I typically pick it up just because tweed knit is a very sought after and just a very classic style of blazer, and they do really well.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know you're here, so I get you something.
No
yeah,
way.
we do really like you. Yeah,
Oh,
once
you're
we
so
have
sweet. Can I get a hug?
yeah,
Oh.
once we have customers who's really nice. Yeah,
Oh,
I like
that
to
just
give
made
them
my
some
day.
presents.
Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Have Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Don't open until Christmas.
Okay.
What is the Christmas tree?
Thank you so much. Oh, that's so nice. And this was the moment that the manager came over and gave me a little Christmas gift, and I was honestly blown away, but I just thought that was so sweet and just so kind of her. She's always really sweet to me whenever I do see her, and yeah, this just made my day. So this is definitely one of my favorite brands to find, and it's Title IX. I find it almost all the time, and I love whenever I do because it sells really quick. And this one's just a really nice wool blend zip up moto style jacket, and I actually ended up selling this for $49.99 within a day of having it listed. I've never heard of this brand before. It's called Victor Costa, but I looked it up just because it's 100% wool, and it also has this embroidery on it, and comps were kind of all over the place. There were some that were really high, and then there were some that were really low, and so I did end up grabbing it just because it was $8, and like I said, it's 100% wool. It has all this embroidery detailing on it, and then it's also a 2X, and with all those factors added in, I know that I should be able to get around $50, maybe even $60 for this. I've actually sold this exact jacket before, I think 3 times now, and it's from J. Crew, and it's kind of like this waxed utility jacket, and when I have sold it, it has sold for $45, sometimes $50 depending on the size. I did actually end up putting this one back because it's an XX small, and so that size just doesn't move for me, and they also had it marked up to, what, $15, and so I did put that back. It just wasn't worth it for me. I knew I was going to be sitting on it, and I would not be getting my money back for quite some time. Even if they had this marked reasonably, I probably would have left it anyway just because of the size. But if you guys find this wax utility jacket from J.Crew, I would definitely pick it up if it's in a size small or up. It's actually been seen on Michelle Obama, Meghan Markle, and the mom from Modern Family, and so it is a very sought after item from them, and whenever I do find it, it sells really quick. Right now with 90s and Y2K being really popular, corduroy jackets are really popular too, and especially ones with like the faux fur trim. And so this one has like the faux fur trim collar along with on the hem lining and on the cuffs, and it's from the brand 77, which I've never heard of before, but I did pick this up just based on the style, and I listed it for $50, and so far it already has 2 watchers within just a couple hours of being listed. This is such a beautiful tunic top. I love that it has this eyelet and floral lacing, and then it also has like beading and sequencing around the bust line. Just very stunning, and it's actually from the brand Sino, which they sell at Sundance, and originally this was $195, and it's actually new with tags, and I ended up finding 3 of them. And this brand is definitely known for like coastal, boho, and I'm hoping to resell them for about $70. I grabbed this one because it was really nice linen blazer. It was also striped, and this was actually from the brand H by Halston. It was new with tags, and this was an extra large, so I feel like I should be able to get $45, maybe $50 for this. Great bread and butter brand, Eileen Fisher, and this one was $4, and it's also an extra large, so I'm very happy about that. And this is just a really like nice stretch knit tunic top, and this should go for about $40. Oh, I love this one. This is from Chico's, and this is actually a vintage Chico's. It is 100% silk, and it has this beautiful floral embroidery on it. It is also iridescent. I don't know if the color is coming off like it is in real life. This pink, but then purple, and it changes colors like when you move it, which iridescent pieces are very sought after, and they perform really well. I'm actually gonna list this for $50. I've never heard of this brand before. It's called Ray, but I looked it up just because the tag was very like simple and unassuming, which is always a good sign that it's something that's high quality. And when I looked it up, there wasn't too much about this brand, but the ones that I did see that were listed were pre-owned pants, and they were listed for about $50 to $60. And mine is new without tags, so it still has like the string attachment. And these are just some nice straight leg cotton pants with like stretched and elastic around the waistline. And I'm hoping to sell these for about $70, but I still need to do some research on this brand. Here's a really cute Bowden sweater, and I really like to find Bowden, especially in their sweaters, their jackets, or their dresses. They resell really well, and this one is actually 100% wool, which huge bonus. It also is just this full button-up cardigan with this really cute, delicate scallop detailing. And whenever I list this brand, I always put preppy or classic as my keywords or in my description, and I'm hoping to get $40, maybe $45 for this sweater. You guys, right when I found this, I knew I had to have it, and it's from the brand Cabby, which I didn't really care what the brand was. I picked this up because I love the style. This is definitely like vintage Y2K. I would even put 90s in there. Kind of makes me think of like Phoebe from Friends or Lizzie McGuire. Other things that I would put in my keywords be psychedelic, boho, gypsy. I love the scarf patchwork print. It kind of reminds me of like a kimono. It also has this tie front, and I'm hoping to sell this for $40. Okay, so this is probably my favorite find of the day, and I don't think it's gonna sell for the most out of all the items, but I'm instantly in love with this one. It is 100% silk, which huge bonus. It's also vintage, and it's from the brand Dana B and Karen. I paid $8 for this, and I mean, how amazing is this? It has this like safari animal print throughout the entire thing. It's this full button-up blouse, and I'm gonna list mine for $60 because this is a rare find. I mean, how many vintage tops like this are you gonna find that's 100% silk? Just really high quality, in amazing condition, absolutely beautiful. Another piece from Eileen Fisher, and I really like this one. It's this cute like rib knit V-neck button-up cardigan, and I paid $6 for this, and it should be able to resell for around $40. You guys, this is a great brand to look out for. It's Barber. I've only ever found this in men's items, so I don't actually know if they make women's pieces, but this brand is really expensive, brand new. And this one is 100% cotton quarter zip up sweater, and it has like the logo on the front. When I looked up comps on this should go for about $45 pre-owned. Another great bread and butter item is this Toad & Co dress, and even though it is winter, their dresses do perform well, and during summertime they have over 100% sell-through rate, so I did get this because this one was half off, and it's also this like really cute floral knit dress, and whenever I find this brand I always put camping or hiking in my keywords, and this should go for about $40. guys, right when I saw this I knew I had to look it up because it was a jean jumpsuit, which are really popular right now, and this one was long sleeve. It also had wide legs and it was belted. The brand is Revolt, and this one was actually new with tags, and I think when an item is new with tags and it's vintage, it's called dead stock. But I looked up this brand in jumpsuits and they were actually performing really well, and I saw some listed for like $120 pre-owned. So since mine is new, I'm gonna say $150 and see how that goes. I will definitely report back. Okay, so this dress is amazing, and it is from Talbot's. It is a vintage piece, so it is 90s vintage, and right away when I saw this, I know I say this all the time, but it made me think of Phoebe from Friends, and it also made me think of Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus, which are things that I will put in my keywords. I love the fact that it is this button-up front shirt dress. It is also belted, and then it just has fruit all throughout it, just like a really fun, quirky dress. It's a midi to maxi length dress, depending on your height. I might wear this myself a few times before I sell it, but I'm actually hoping to get around $50 for this. Another vintage piece, and this one is from the brand Karen Steven, and this one was also new with tags. I just thought this was very whimsical, very like fairy goddess, feminine, romantic, definitely 90s style. It has the slit in the front, kind of like a crinkled texture to the knit, and just a beautiful floral print. I'm hoping to sell this for about $50 to $60. I've noticed so far that Maeve for Anthropologie does perform well, especially if it's in the newer label Maeve, which this one was. And this was also a maxi length. Anytime that a dress is longer, that just adds more value to it. And this is also a polka dot print. It's just a very classic and timeless print. I'm hoping to sell this for $60 if I list it at all, because I tried this dress on, which was kind of a huge mistake, and I absolutely love it. So I might just be keeping this myself. But again, if I do decide to list it, it should sell for $60. Normally when I pick up vintage items, I don't pick it up based on the brand, I just pick it up based on the style, but there are some occasions where I find an item that is both a style-based pickup and then also a good brand, and this one was one of them. It is from the brand Cachet, which is a very popular and sought-after vintage brand. This one was a full velvet dress. It also has these really elegant and like unique petal sleeves, along with this lacing around the neckline, and in the lacing it also has like these really dainty purling detailing. This should go for about $60 to $70. For me, the men's section is kind of a hit or miss, so there'll be some times where I go there and I find awesome stuff and it sells really quick for a good amount of money, and then there'll be times where I don't find anything, which definitely feels like the majority of times. And I think it doesn't help that the men's section is like super tiny at all the stores that I go to, but I do like to look because whenever I do find a great men's item, it sells really quick. This was awesome because I found this Star Wars blazer, which anytime I find anything Star Wars, I do typically look it up, especially since this one was really unique because it was a sport jacket. And it's this tweed knit wool blend Chewbacca line jacket, and when I looked this up, it was actually performing really well, and some had them selling for $100. Alright you guys, I'm all done and I'm ready to go home. I feel like all in all that was a really successful trip. I found so many great shoes, which I was kind of nervous about because I normally like to be there right to open, and this time I was 2 hours late. A lot of really great items, and also it was so sweet. The manager came up and gave this to me, and I just thought that was so sweet and so kind. Right away I had to call my husband and let him know that that happened because it just made my day. I love things like that. I hope that you guys are all having a wonderful day too, and thank you so much for joining me today. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions about reselling, or if you just want to say hi. I respond to every single question, every single comment, and I love whenever I read them. And as always, if you guys think that I earned a like on this video or your subscription, I would really appreciate that. But either way, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Bye guys.